Hello there, YouTube. This is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with our showcase of Renowned Explorers for Roguevember, which was a whole month to show off some of my most favorite roguelikes of all time. Again, this being my most favorite roguelike of all time. I know it probably doesn't show well, and honestly, for the longest time, I legitimately hated this game. I didn't understand why they did things that they did. I basically got it a long time ago. You may remember a famous YouTuber by the name of Total Biscuit, and I had at the time recently saw one of his videos, WTF is Renowned Explorers, and it showed pretty well at the time, like in the early game, and so I was like, yeah, okay, this looks interesting, I'll pick it up. And back then, really the only popular roguelikes were stuff like Binding of Isaac or maybe Slay the Spire, right? But I didn't really get for the longest time, which may sound a little bit weird, that this was a roguelike. And so eventually I started coming across a whole bunch of things that was sort of like grating. And I was like, God, like, why do they make these decisions? And why does this work this way? Why does that work that way? And also, admittedly, back then I wasn't quite the spreadsheet warrior that I am now. So a lot of it felt like random and up to chance, and like I have absolutely no control over everything. And then you just walk into a certain expedition and die, right? You felt like an absolute god, and then you just got wiped. And so I stopped playing the game for the longest while and started playing other roguelikes. And as I started getting introduced to other roguelikes, it honestly made me appreciate things that Renowned Explorers had done like years before, when they're like, oh yeah, people needed more player agency, or like these synergies needed to be a thing. So we went ahead and we added this. And I was like, wait a minute, Renowned Explorers already does that and stuff like that. And granted, back then they were still going through a bunch of balance patches, but by the time that I had gone back to it, it was like honestly really good, and I started appreciating it, started breaking it down into a spreadsheet and stuff like that. And that's when it sort of like really clicked with me, with building the teams and like covering weaknesses, stuff like that. The air quotes pathing in the world map like we're looking at right now, as well as the pathing in the expeditions, how to handle fights, and I don't know. But like I said, I completely understand if it doesn't like project well, because in the overall scheme of things, it's more about the satisfaction of success over the journey, if that makes any sense. Because as far as I'm concerned, like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of like cute cartoony stuff with some dialogue and stuff like that. I've already like consumed all of that. At this point, it's just pure like spreadsheet crunching. And yeah, I understand that that's not really everybody's cup of tea. Anyways, another thing to note is that we've been absolutely bodying the game. It's not been a very good representation of classic mode, in my opinion. Maybe some of that is because, well, this is a team that I've been on, like, I think I'm on like the 20th iteration. Like I said, like, this challenge is something I've been working at for a long time. And so, like I said, I've already worked on like a bunch of the pathing and stuff like that. Like, how does this work? And at this point, we're usually not at 7 resolve. Like, even in the last mission, I believe, Victor almost got, like, killed 3 times. Which, not killed, but we would have lost 3 resolve. And now we're starting to get to the point where losing checks is going to reduce our resolve. And we got some pretty decent growth out of the last one, I would say. Like, we got the relics that we wanted. But, Min not being a diplomat 4... Hojo not being a survivalist 4, like at this point, these are going to be more and more important, because what they do is, as you go on, skills start giving you less of a bonus towards checks, and having specific skills also start working and your stats are more important. And at this point, we ain't got no stats. Corbin, my man. So I would not be surprised to see us wipe in these upcoming areas. And I'm kind of debating. We could always back off and do a 3-star, but obviously that's not going to give us as much growth and as much many tokens, worse relics, those sorts of things. But we're between Transylvania, because we have a decent diplomat and a decent quick thinker, but we have no beguiler or engineer. And then, of course, beguiler checks will technically go into speaker, and so will our diplomat checks. We'll get a bonus from being a speaker, and we don't actually have a speaker. We have a pseudo speaker. So that's going to put us at a disadvantage in these checks here. We don't have an engineer. And again, we do have a quick thinker, so that's going to be pretty useful for us. But so we're technically good at half the checks here. And I don't know. It's a pretty rough mission, but again, lots of hidden events, chain events that can help us out there. Otherwise, the Anagarchic Archipelago, I think I'm pronouncing that absolutely wrong. We're pretty good at friendly. If we have to, we can be aggressive, but we'd obviously prefer not to be. We have a decent tactician, decent survivalist, and then of course we start getting this realm here if it's like, we really don't have these. But both of them will make us quite a lot of gold, and that's obviously what we want, because again, we need to build stats, whether it's buying skills that are on items, or we need to just upgrade our shops and get better stats so that we can do stuff. Those are the kind of things that we're looking for. If we were to fall back, we'd probably go to Emerged Island. I'm not sure that we'd be good at nature challenges, but at least this would be somewhat decent for us here. We are going to get attacked by physical a lot, but we have Hojo to offset that. Yeah, so that's me spending 8 minutes talking about my history with the game and the fact that I think that I'm about to get my ass beat. So I guess let's get our ass beat. I think that it'd be more entertaining possibly for me to go to the Transylvanian region, simply because it's definitely this and the Emerged Isles, and obviously the one that we're going to end at, are kind of like the, I would say, this, not necessarily the silliest, but it's definitely like we're going to Transylvania here. And so I guess you can kind of figure by that like who we're going up against. And then of course the Emerged Isles, you fight like go up against a cult of a literal ghost ship captain, sort of stuff like that, because up until now we've sort of done like, should I say, air quotes, realistic things, right? We've gone and visited none in the Highlands. There were some sheep we might have like befriended or not befriended. One of them, you literally take down a dictator in the Incan, what would that be? Maya? The Mayan region. And you're doing things that would more or less seem normal, right? But then you start getting into like the really freaky, weird science fiction stuff at this point, and I don't know, like some of that's like pretty dope. We're gonna check this because it's free, gives us more vision. Nothing to be found here. Well, I didn't think that the hidden horde was gonna be hidden there anyways. The one thing about this map, and I'm so glad that the I'm pretty sure this is the final area. There's lots of hard passage for 2 here that you've got to be careful of. I have legitimately played rounds of this that if you don't hit your supplies, you could die due to map generation on this map in particular. Same thing with the desert, but generally speaking, you build for the desert, and so that helps. Here we don't really have the luxury of like building to take two routes. Like we could have a lot more supplies available, which would obviously help considerably. We're obviously going to head over here. This is probably for an engineer, which we have none. And as you can see here, our speech defense is actually giving us, well, you can't really see it, but if you were to actually like calculate like how much your speech defense is multiplying into our odds here, it would be a lot less than the first place or the first expedition. Like I said, I believe it starts out at like 1.5. At this point, I believe we're at like 0.8. I could check to see, but it's not really that important. And being a scientist doesn't even help us anymore. So now it's like legitimately, you really need engineer, which is why I'm like, okay, yeah, 3 diplomat? Not really gonna cut it. Losing 10 speech defense and 2 supplies on this mission is like not good. And even if we were to use a tool that give a 25% bonus, honestly, we're just gonna take the study and leave. I'm not sure if this ends it or not. Like, the one thing that I really despise about this map is that it's very hard to tell which of these two is the secret area and which of these is the final. I'm guessing since this is a large node, oh, that's because we're next to it. My bad. And it doesn't say that one of them is our destination. So making that more obvious on this map obviously would have been better, but again, game's no longer in development. Okay, that's what I thought. This is the cultist hideout? Eh. We're gonna try it. Because we need something out of this mission. If we end friendly, we get a science. We're currently surrounded as per usual. More people coming in that way. What are you weak to? You're weak to being excited. You're weak to being impressed. Good thing we got both of those. I guess we're just gonna try and snipe this guy. Start with this. Get the speech defense. And honestly, if we're not gonna end him... Oops, sorry. We're gonna move you there. If we're not gonna end him, I'm not gonna use our line shot. And then let's keep him off of excited, because we don't want to give him speech attack. Oh my good load. Weak to terrified. You have some terrify. Maybe you should go meet them. I really don't know here. That'll finish the big guy. Then what are we doing about your health? we could impress you, but then of course that's actually, you're going to stay in negative mood, so you're not going to be impressed and therefore lose speech defense. Okay. You do need to move though. I don't want you to get, like, sandwiched between these people. Can I get both of you guys? Not really, but I can at least take out one of you guys. Seems good. Let's take out the guy on the healing ground. Okay. Everybody's frightened to heck. So this should actually one-shot both of you guys, since you guys don't have a lot of actual HP and or speech defense, whichever one it is. And we should be able... Scusi. Me scusi. And this guy can't finish us by themselves. He is switching to aggressive and then attacking Victor, the one with the most armor. That's kind of cute. Alright. One crew member must stay on guard. Okay. Oh, come on, dude. Well, we ain't got nothing. I will trade one resolve for 4 supplies. Some free armor, I guess, is okay. We'll lose 2 supplies if we don't roll. But if we fail to roll, we'll lose a resolve. Oy. We just failed an 80%, dude. We need tokens. We're gonna go ahead and study these to give us our campfire story. We may honestly... generous. Do you have generous? You don't have generous. We can make you a level 4 diplomat here. I think we need to keep that resolve. That's not too bad either. Like, unfortunately, we kind of want all this. The veteran isn't really... It can add some mood towards him, like, between our people, which is kind of good. Otherwise, it's kind of way too late for that. Like, all expeditions unlock 1 level earlier. At this point, that's not really going to do much for us. We can go ahead and discard that and keep this resolve just in case. I guess also, like, now would be the perfect time to use this. because after this we're not going to have access to anything like that anymore. Okay. What I mean is that we'll be on the final prep phase after this, so if we choose to take that on Mission 5, it's not going to do much for us. Oh my god, it's an abominable beast! It's holding a colored egg! Hojo about to take on this world. This was really worth nothing! We got a treasure for it though, and a secret because we found a treasure, so that's at least appreciated. Is our campaign better than... Still kind of think that we need some science. Like, it doesn't directly replace that. Level 3 fights for some supplies. Let's do it. Oh, buddy, you guys are by yourselves? You're resistant to Excite, though? Kind of makes sense, I guess. Make you guys sadden instead. Reduce your attack. Nope. Alright. One supply. Come on, man. What is this? A 2? I would prefer not to. 1, 2. Look up there. Gotta make sure to leave enough to get back, too. Oh, hello. That is indeed a lot of cultists. A little spooked. We're fine. Get up here for a huge heal. I guess you'll run out and meet you guys. I don't like the fact that we make you confident, which increases your attack damage. There we go. One got moderately spicy. +1 secret, let's go. Now if I go here, I don't think there's any way I'm getting back unless I somehow... We'd be at 4, 2, have to make this check, 0. I think we have to go back now. 1, 3, 4. God, that sucks. Because this would make us starve for 2 tiles. And that would be most assured death. I think we have this under complete control. Really? I guess I never remembered that actually... So apparently, going from the Scottish Highlands to here, because we have a holy artifact, actually allows me to... gain a benefit here. What the frick? I've never seen this outcome before. +1 secret for each level of diplomat in your crew. That's 3 secrets? Or we just buff our secrets? I almost think that having 3 secrets is better for us. Is that the case? This is currently worth 75 status, 30 research. Getting more secrets is better than that. Not as far as the research is concerned. Like, that's pretty frickin' dope for the research. But I think this is better for us. Yeah, so basically it allowed us to skip a whole bunch of stuff that would have given us negatives here. When he tries to seduce us for our eternal reward. And so we get a resolve for not... what am I trying to say? Not falling for that. This is, however, a huge encounter. It also gives us a whole bunch of debuffs here if we were to fail that there. And I wonder if we actually... No, we don't gain a benefit to our buffs here for having that outcome, which is fine. You're weak to being impressed. These guys here are weak to being terrified. You have low health, though. I can get you with a line shot if I absolutely wanted. Putting myself that close to Dracula, though? You're not quite able to finish anybody. Are you able to get to a point? You can hit 3 people with this. Not quite. It's quite misfortunate. I also don't think that this is where we want to be. Can only undo the last character moved. Well, I guess we're stuck here. Alright then. Alright then. That helps. Want to get in this healing area here. Hit you guys with that. End you on that note. Alright. Do your worst, Dracula. Oh, god damn. Ah, okay. Kind of expected that to happen. Dude's a beast. I'm gonna go ahead and revive Victor. If we stay in impressed, it's not gonna be good for us. So we're gonna go ahead and actually just bop this, flip over into brutal, gives us some speech defense for a little while. And unfortunately, that's just how we're gonna have to play. He has AoE, so I kind of want to split us up now. And we're probably going to just hit you with some Saddened here, which is going to start flipping us over to Devious. Now he is likely going to go over to Devious in a turn. And so we want to be back at friendly at that point. Now, you are actually immune to impressed. So we have to terrify you. But if we terrify you, we're actually going to lose quite a bit. Okay, so you're not doing any of that then. We need to make sure that you don't stay impressed. So let's take you up here. Switch over to you. No. Nope. Undo. I'm going to move you here. Select you. Give you some speech. That should have given you enough. Hit you with that, and we've unfortunately grouped ourselves up again. That's kind of silly of us. Now he's made us confident. So we need to not be confident at the end here. I don't know how we get around that. However, we do need to terrify this man. Now we've got the grit. Thank you for that. Oh! Whew. I kind of fully expect someone to get got again here. So I'm hoping it's only one person. Don't get Min, please. Thank you. This is fine. Oh, man. I can't actually reach you. If I line shot you here... that should kill. Okay. We lost 2 resolve versus Dracula. That's huge. Of course, right at the end, we started getting... again, like, for a tier 4 expedition, this is decent. Like, we've got quite a few secrets that it's honestly going to save us here. Dude's fucking weird. Like, she's maybe 12 years old, dude. First the Molly Witch Doctor, and now Count Dracula? What's with all these weird-ass dudes? Only 2 treasures. That's pretty feels bad, man. And one of them was an instant... like, they're both instant gratification ones. Like, they didn't build our team at all. Oh, man. And dare I say it, we might honestly lose due to score after all that shit I talked earlier. Oh, man. At this point in the game, they're going to ask us, like, okay, what do you want to score here? And considering how much gold we currently got and how much status we got, I think that we're honestly probably going to go with this. Maybe it's best for us to do 60% all. We gained quite a bit of status. Like, simply due to this alone. I mean, I guess we've still gained more due to gold than anything else. Like, this last level pretty much brought status up. Otherwise, it was probably around here. We'll take 60% all, though. It's probably the correct move. Alright. I think we gotta go to Beijing. Because the Beijing rewards basically allows us to just go for those elite tokens that we've been building for. Most notably, our discovery token. So if we take Min here, this is our rewards. But pretty freaking good. Let's take a look here. We want to be able to buff this up. We want to go to natural sciences. We are not a level 3 naturalist, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is where we're at. Alright. I think we're almost looking at this here. Naturalist geology isn't too bad. Just to get some more naturalist in her. Then our study tokens can give us a little bit more gold. Otherwise, maybe this? I don't know. I don't freaking know, man. Like I said, this is the part where everything starts falling apart for me. Otherwise, we can't give you survivalist cooking. I think we're looking for this one here. We go all the way to the top. Doubles original study and discovery tokens. We're actually going to barely miss it. Not really. So we're going to have to spend 1 insight, like plebeians. Actually, we're going to have to spend a lot of insight like plebeians. Unless we do you. We do you once? Actually, is a little bit of research actually better than just gaining all this status? We're probably actually just doing you 4 times. But once should give us, just barely, enough to double our study and discovery. And now we're pumping. Yeah, an extra 12 research I don't think is worth. Having completed this would also help our next thing significantly, our next expedition. But there's just no way we're getting all of this. We need 250 for 1 research. And is there any other entourage that we could buy? Probably should have bought this beforehand, but we could get you and maybe a journalist, unless there's something else hidden around here. Doesn't look like it. Unless we'll get some more cash. Then some more status, I guess. It's the most efficient way to use that, I would suppose. Can't research more, can't do any more hiring. So now we're looking at the shops. You've got Master Armor on you. We got a normal Book of Joy. Could probably upgrade you to a master book, upgrade this book, and then fill a slot here. Starting every combat excited is pretty good. Being resistant to terrified is going to be very helpful coming up top here, or, you know, where we're headed. Keck Naturalist Geology. Yeah, we just did aggressively good enough. We didn't make a lot of anything. Regardless, let's go back to the original. And there's really no reason why we can't have 2 good books here. That's not going to leave us very defensive. Sorry, master books is what I was talking. This is basically a master book plus. So, not against having that. And then, of course, these guys just have some books. And then we have 155. We might as well throw something on you. And I'm thinking Resistant Terrified is probably the best thing for us to grab here. Otherwise, Starting Excited obviously gives us that 25% bonus speech immediately, which is quite good for a lot of like bursting down enemies, especially in this final expedition. If I could have both of these, I honestly would. But I'm not sure about dropping a translation guide. And obviously I can't afford them both. I don't know what I'm talking about. We're going to be resistant to Terrified. Try and set ourselves up here. Okay. God, we are just filled to the gills. Oh, a free beguiler. That's nice. Anyways, that was our run through the Transylvanian wilderness. Again, as usual, hopefully you found the video entertaining. If you have any feedback whatsoever, be it questions, comments, concerns, misplay alerts, be sure to put that down in the comments below. And until next time, when we hug that T-Rex, we will catch you guys around.